Hey there folks, John here with Through My Lens, and today I'm coming to you with a flashlight related video. Today we're going to be taking a look at this Warrior Mini from Olight. I'm pretty excited. I haven't done a flashlight review in several months, so there's a lot to cover here. This is a pretty interesting light, again with a lot of controversy surrounding it. It's something I talked a bit about in my unboxing video, so if you haven't seen that, I would strongly encourage you to go back and reference it. Now, in terms of what kind of light this is, let me first say what kind of light it isn't. I consider this to be a light that is neither tactical nor EDC. Now, the Olight Warrior Mini is billed as being a dual switch tactical EDC light with a maximum output of 1500 lumens and 6 total brightness settings. It's powered by a rechargeable proprietary 18650 battery, and the 6 output modes and their respective run times are as follows. It has a 1 lumen moonlight mode that will last for 45 days, a 15 lumen mode which will run for 150 hours, 120 lumen mode which will run for 18 hours, and a 500 lumen mode that will run for 218 minutes, and then it will drop back to 170 lumens, and that will it'll run for an additional 15 minutes after it drops. And then finally, it has a turbo mode that is 1500 lumens. That will run for four minutes until the temperature safety kicks in, and then it drops to 500 lumens, and then much like in the 500 lumen mode, it will run for I believe 55 minutes, and then it will drop back to 170 lumens. So again, a variety of output modes that can be used in different situations. Now, Olight is using an SST40 LED in the Warrior Mini, and it has a very cool white beam color. I happen to like cool white lights, but many flashlight enthusiasts seem to prefer a more neutral beam tint. I really think it's a matter of personal preference. Now, the Olight store lists the intended use for this light as being, and I'm quoting here, self-defense, law enforcement, or tactical. Now again, out of the box, I don't consider the Warrior Mini a tactical light. And by tactical light, I mean one that is suitable for use in conjunction with a firearm for defensive purposes. It suffers from the same issue that I've been talking about for many years with, air quotes here, tactical flashlights. Too many modes in the tail cap is really what it comes down to. With the out-of-the-box mode, a tap of the tail cap will activate the light in constant on mode, and that's a deal breaker. See, I can make the light stay on. A true tactical tail light switch does only one thing. It activates the light when pressed and deactivates the light when released. Instant on, instant off. Period. Any other mode for the tail switch, which could possibly have the light be in constant on, introduces the possibility of getting the operator killed. It's critical to be able to get the light on when I want it, to quickly illuminate an area to search for possible assailants, and then quickly deactivate the light to minimize the possibility of making yourself a target and giving away your position. In that mode of operation, there is no possible reason to have the light be constantly on. And when you're in a life or death situation and your adrenaline is pumping, you want to completely eliminate the possibility that the light will stay on. So very few consumers actually need a true tactical light, and their limited functionality, quite honestly, makes them boring relative to competing models in the ADC space. So many manufacturers, most in fact, kind of air quote again, cheat and make compromised tactical lights which attempt to please both the EDC crowd and the tactical operator. And that's exactly what we're seeing in the user interface of the tail switch for the Warrior Mini. Now, YouTuber MaxLVEDC has a video about the Olight Warrior Mini where he talks about the alternate mode set for the tail switch, which completely changes the user interface for the tail switch. To enter this mode, you simply hold the tail switch and press the side switch. And in this alternate mode, there is no possibility of constant on, which is good. In this mode, if you half press the tail light, you get turbo mode. If you full press, you get strobe. Now, is it ideal? No, it is not. I have never seen a strobe as an effective deterrent against an attacker. Best case scenario, you've just pissed off your attacker, but they're still coming at you. They may be a little bit disoriented, maybe not. And the big problem is the strobe mode also makes it difficult for the operator to see clearly as well. And in a life or death situation, do you really want a mode on your flashlight that makes positive target identification more difficult? No, that is not ideal. Strobe mode is dumb. I have zero use for it on any flashlight, and I really wish it would go away. People will disagree with me on this point, and that's fine. The point here is that if I require a true tactical flashlight, I'm going to buy a true tactical flashlight, and I'm not going to buy the Olight Warrior Mini. Again, very few companies make a truly tactical flashlight. Again, this is something I've been talking about for many years in my flashlight reviews. So we've established that the Warrior Mini is not a true tactical flashlight, but is it suitable for EDC? Now, as I talked about in my unboxing, the light generated much controversy online shortly after this new model was released last year. Thanks to the unprecedented output in so small a package, at least for Olight, the light had the potential to generate enough heat in the flashlight head near the lens that it would literally burn clothing. There were many online reports of accidental activations of the light resulting in burned pockets and some injuries in some cases. In particular, if metal objects in your pocket came into contact with the tail switch, there was the potential of accidentally activating the light in turbo mode, which again can have disastrous results. Now, in response, Olight gave owners the opportunity to return their lights. Now, those that kept them were sent an appreciation gift pretty identical to what came with mine when I did my unboxing. The O-bulb, some of the glow-in-the-dark silicone diffusers that you see here, which double as a tail cap cover. And of course the metal coin that can be, it has an adhesive side that can be mounted to give you a ferrous surface on which to mount your O-bulb because it has a magnetic attachment point. Now, as I talked about in my unboxing, Olight really went on the defensive with this light and started talking about lockout mode and really pushing lockout mode as the solution to the problem of the accidental activation and the burning situation. So is lockout mode a silver bullet solution for accidental activation of the light in your pocket? Maybe, it certainly helps. To enter in lockout mode, you simply hold the side switch button for 2 seconds. You'll see the light comes on and goes off. Now if I try to activate the light, you'll see that a red light is coming on the button, indicating that it is in lockout mode. And nothing is happening. I'm hitting the tail switch, I'm hitting the side switch, nothing is happening. Now, the biggest source of accidental activations with this light seems to be when something in your pocket comes into contact with the tail switch. Again, it has that tap-on functionality right out of the box unless you go to the alternate function mode. Now, lockout mode prevents anything in your pocket from briefly contacting the tail switch and activating the light. But what about the side switch? What if you're wearing tight pants and you sit down with your light in your front pocket? If the side switch were wedged against your body, it is possible, I think, that the switch could be depressed for 2 seconds or longer, which would activate the light. Would that happen? Maybe. I don't know how probable it is, but it doesn't seem altogether impossible either. The possibility that it could happen does seem concerning. So as much as I don't consider this a tactical light, I'm not sure that I can consider it a good choice for EDC either, at least relative to other options in the marketplace. Now sure, the silicone diffuser cap, which again is one of the nice free gifts that you get with purchase, you put that over the tail and you eliminate much of the risk of EDCing this light. But at that point, I think you have to consider other options. I might bring this light with me in an EDC bag, or I might even drop it in a coat pocket in the lockout mode during the colder months here in Ohio. But carrying it in my pants in my pants pocket on a daily basis, I don't think so. Even if safety weren't an issue, the light is a tad larger than what I would want to carry. And I personally feel that a true EDC light probably shouldn't exceed 500 lumens to avoid any temperature-related issues. Now, EDC lights tend to be used indoors primarily, so that level of output should be sufficient for EDC/indoor use, in my opinion. Now, despite the shortcomings, I do think that the light is a fantastic general-purpose utility light. My example is very attractive, and they do make several different color combinations for the Warrior Mini, as well as some premium priced versions with titanium housings. I think aesthetics are one of Olight's key differentiators in the crowded and competitive LED flashlight market. It has what I require for an indoor flashlight, particularly a good moonlight mode, which is great for when you wake up in the middle of the night and you need to navigate the bedroom without waking up your significant other. Now, depending on where you live and where you like to walk, the 500 lumen output mode is probably sufficient for outdoor use for an evening stroll or a dog walk, with an occasional turbo boost, to identify any dark corners on your walk. Now, the dual mount pocket clip provides the possibility of hat mounting the light, which is useful for me. That gives you a hands-free operation mode. I would prefer that the pocket clip mounts to the body of the flashlight via screws. I've had several lights with this kind of a squeeze-on mounting, and invariably if you have it clipped to your pocket with this kind of a pocket clip, if you catch the light on something and it experiences enough torque, that pocket clip's going to fling off and the light's going to drop off. And hopefully you notice it and are able to pick up your light when that happens. But in some cases that can happen and you lose your light. Now, at the $50 price point that I paid for the Olight Warrior Mini, the light really isn't too bad of a value, particularly with all the free gifts which are part of the promotion associated with this light. The magnetic recharging option is pretty cool and it's convenient, which is good because unscrewing the light without scratching up the body or the pocket clip is really quite a feat. You can see that the pocket clip is against the body and it's attached to the head. So when you try to unscrew it, you're causing friction against the body. You have to try to lift the pocket clip while you unscrew the head if you don't want to do any damage, which is a little inconvenient. And then the magnetic tail also provides some very useful hands-free mounting options as well, not often seen in competing products. So as long as you understand that this light is definitely not a tactical light, and is also not a great choice as an EDC light, I think I can give it a qualified recommendation. It's very well built and attractive and does offer some unique functionality and utility. Whether or not it's the best choice when compared to other options on the market is a different question, and I do plan to follow up this review comparing the Warrior Mini to some other options in the marketplace. Well, there you have it. There's my review of the Olight Warrior Mini flashlight. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Take care. God bless. We'll see you in the next one.
I hope you've enjoyed this production from the Through My Lens YouTube channel. If you did, please click on the like button and do share the video on social media. If you'd like to see more content like it, please do subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and do check out Through My Lens at www.throughmylens.org.